2-game slate. Underdog doesn't care. $30,000 to first place. The contests are filling like you would not believe. Let's get into Dan's computer and find a way to take that money for ourselves. It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer. Good morning. Good day, everyone. Welcome to a new member. DM as the initials for a new member in between videos. Don't get to open up StreamYard to a new member all that often. So I appreciate that, guys. I mean, this is it for NFL sims. I mean, maybe we'll do golf sims, maybe we'll do hoop sims, maybe we will have something else to do. But final NFL sim, and God bless them. An Underdog, they came correct. $30,000 to first place for a 2-game BR slate, 4-man lobbies. In your estimation, Dan, just guessing, what are you guessing first place is a chop?
Oh, that's a really good question. It's really tough. I think there's a decent chance, but all too often there's some super random piece you need. How many is it? It's like 40,000 entries.
Yes.
I think there's a decent chance it's a dupe, but
there are 40,200 entries. Obviously, yes, if Justin Watson scores, if Juju scores, I mean, look, if Juju scores, I'm probably going to win. So I would encourage, if there's a good Juju combo, I probably already have it covered. So unless you want the ignominy of chopping with me, I would tell you to draft someone else. But yes, if we assume the guys who go 1, 2, 3, 4 all score very well also, and if Barkley, Josh Allen, and Shakir are all in the optimal, that permutation of players is duplicated so often by drafters that the chop rate goes up really high. I mean, Dan, we kind of talked about this on the endgame video a little bit yesterday, but like knowing that the chop rate, I mean, certainly is much higher than an average PTP or whatever. Are you thinking there's anything to change in the approach here?
No, I mean, in theory, it should all be accounted for in the sim anyway. I think so. On these 2 gamers, you have 2 sort of counteracting forces. Like you have fewer choices, right?
Right.
So you just have fewer choices overall. So that means that duping is more of a consideration. So it means that having a really highly projected unique lineup is way more valuable in a 2-gamer than in a full slate. But it's also just much, much harder to do. So those kinds of things kind of cancel each other out. It's sort of like in classic DFS, like, does having a unique lineup in the Millie Maker help you? It does. Is it hard to make a unique Millie Maker lineup that's good? It is not. It's pretty easy to do. On a showdown NFL slate, having a good lineup that's unique is massively valuable. Massively valuable.
And insanely hard to accomplish.
Yeah. Very hard to accomplish. And in fact, the EV estimates that my software puts out today are going to be laughably off, because if we get to a team that it thinks is unreasonably well projected because it's playing against itself,
cut the value in 4.
Oh, at least it's going to be like, this lineup is worth 200. I literally had one this morning and said it was worth $250, because the value comes from 2 places. It comes from being a little too high projected, which is real. And then it comes from like, oh my God, nobody in my field ever has these combos, which is not going to be the case in a real VR, because there are going to be plenty of rooms where somebody's terrible or somebody makes a mistake and you just get better than you should. It's still very valuable.
I've seen a good amount of mistakes already. I've drafted 85 teams already. It's gonna fill tonight or tomorrow morning, probably.
Yeah,
It's
I got 50 drafts in already, if you can believe it.
Have you been autoing them?
No.
You can, by the way, if you like your rank. I mean, the issue you run into autoing them, you'll have a lot of those teams that Dan thinks is worth $250, but you're gonna lose out. You're not gonna have any Curtis Samuel. You're not gonna have any Justin Watson. You're not gonna have any of the scroll guys.
Yeah. So a lot of the EV, according to my stuff, I know this is hurtful to say, is not drafting Josh Allen. The reason is,
that is
the only way to get Josh
one.
Allen is to take him too early. Yep. So, and to a lesser extent, Jaden Daniels. It's hard to get him on a good team, and then even so, my software is going to think those lineups are absolute garbage. It's like you took Josh Allen this early. It's like that was so unnecessary. Now, the reverse is going to be true there. So the EV for the teams it doesn't like because it thinks, oh my God, this Josh Allen team sucks, are not as bad as the estimate says, because you couldn't have waited till round 3 to get Josh Allen, right? The only way to get him was to get him early. So again, the range of EVs is narrower than what it's going to say, but I think the direction should be hopefully correct.
And, it'll be a great week for me to agree with the computer, because I already know Dan's computer is going to say, oh, dude, you just wait and you just take Patrick Mahomes with your final pick.
Yeah.
And wow. I mean, this is going to be, this will be our final show here. We're going to make so much EV. We're going to be able to go to Peter Luger's Steakhouse, Brian.
That's what I'm saying. We're not changing those EV numbers.
We're going to the French Laundry. We're going.
Yeah.
It's against the law to change those numbers, Dan.
That's true. Otherwise, you can't cash your Sklansky books.
We're going to
you can.
Elenia, or right? Is that the name of it? The super grand
Elenia in Chicago? Yeah.
Super fancy place.
That is.
He says, what if Josh Allen has 250, 1 passing, 2 rushing? Well, then I fucking lose, and that's okay. And I'm okay with it. I lose.
No. Stroud was on the winner last week.
That's true. Sometimes you're okay because the only teams you could get with the best quarterback aren't enough to make up for.
Yeah. I just don't care about this getting Hurts or Mahomes. I'm sure Hurts is projected a little bit better, but I just don't care. I'll just let that, because whatever you lose, like let's say you have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith and you get sniped on Hurts, well then you have a more unique combination. Mahomes will be paired less often, so you don't care either way.
Well, a lot of what you're going to see the computer do is when Allen and Daniels go early, it just sort of takes a little bit. It takes at least one piece of Philly and Kansas City and waits.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care which quarterback I get. It's like, I'll just wait. Yeah.
Was last week split?
No. Chad Candles, longtime viewer, longtime member of the show, solo won the main VR. $30,000 to Chad. Huge winner. We were all sweat. How about this though? This is so sick. He was in first after the end of Eagles Commanders and had to sweat out the entirety of Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills. The whole game, he had to sweat. He's in first for 5 hours, and he just has to sit there and watch Derrick Henry and Josh Allen and James Cook. And then it gets to the point where it could have gone to overtime, and he for sure would not have held if it went to overtime, because I think there was a likely team that was like a 1.5 behind him or something. And Mark Andrews drops the pass, and that's it. Sneal that. I mean, what a sweat. All right, let's do it.
Nice.
Draft.
Nice, go your way.
It is nice. I would rather be waterboarded than take someone else besides Saquon number 1. I think I looked early.
Has him as the 1.01, which is basically, and then Kelce I have as the 2 basically every time, and then after that it starts to change it up a little bit.
So I was doing the salary cap preview earlier, and Barkley is projected 9.5 points better than every other skill position player. And outside of Kelce, he's projected 11 points better than every other skill position player.
Good Lord.
Wow. There you go. See, that's why
Wow.
I mentioned because
That's
Chad's
awfully
a good
nice.
dude. He's look, I mean, I think it's a little bit easier to do a $99 super chat when you just won 30K, but either way, Chad, I appreciate it.
That's
And
still very generous.
It's
Very
very
good.
generous, and we were very happy that he took it down. He
We should look at
he
that
realized he realized early. So he realized pretty early that he had a good like even before he was in first place, he was like, "Oh, this is pretty live." And I looked at it. He won with 12.9 from Diami and 10.5 from Nico. He's like, "Oh, I don't know, man. It's like you're fading a lot in this final game at wide receiver." But
yeah, I mean this is what happens in these small slates. Sometimes you don't need your guys to score a lot. You just need everybody else to do not so great.
well, it's more about who did you not take, who's 100% drafted.
Yeah, totally.
Well, all right.
So now we have choices here. It's gonna say Worthy probably. Worthy, Brown are the winners at the moment. AJ, it's probably gonna have you take both.
I've just been mixing this.
Mixing it here
on my
seems
own.
perfectly reasonable. It likes Brown, McLaurin, Worthy here, sort of roughly equally. So whichever.
The thing is though, in these rooms is people are thirsty for McLaurin. They like McLaurin a lot. Now it probably wants Worthy now.
It wants Worthy a little bit more than McLaurin, but not by a ton. It's close.
Well, you gotta go Worthy, you know that.
Yeah, if you it's true. If you would have loaded these up on Monday, you could have gotten Kelce.
I got a ton of Kelce. I have like 68% Kelce or something because I did some drafting early. Yeah.
My brother had Kelce first TD last week when he got run down at the 5 or whatever.
What a tease.
Be interested to see how many people make like real mistakes. Probably not that many in this because it'll be self-selecting. When's Patrick Barnes' YouTube going to show up?
Oh my God, I have a story to tell you. I played him this morning. It's pretty funny. I'll tell you after the. It's so dumb and funny. It was very funny. I'll tell you after this draft.
That's brutal. Brutal to be in first for like a long time.
Yeah,
the one dude just knocks you out. Yeah, these teams right here, I've seen a lot of this. Cook, Josh Allen. I mean, these are just, bro.
The thing is, when you're in first, it's a lot of work to actually figure out how much of a sweat you really have, because like you have to scroll down and figure out like how many people have which pieces and which could overtake. Like it's a bit of a chore.
Right.
Even in salary cap DFS, it can be tricky to figure out.
That Barkley Shakir pairing. I mean, that is going to be all over the place. Like if Shakir is optimal, then like Saquon is going to end up being in the win.
So this is unusual. Jaden Daniels not going yet is a little unusual.
Yes, it is. And Dallas Goedert going this early is also very unusual.
So this, according to my stuff, the next guy, Daniels, is a perfectly reasonable pick here.
I take Daniels in this range.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Now it's got. Ooh, this is fun. It's suggesting Zach Ertz.
I kind of had a feeling it would like.
So I will tell you that double tight end, it's doing like 20% of the time.
Yes,
which is a lot. But and so far the only people I've seen get to it are names I recognize, which I thought was
nerds. Our nerds.
The next pick it says Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, and I thought I had a good suspicion that it would like this. Now, an issue we are going to run into is I don't know, it's not an issue we're running into. It just is what it is. I think Pacheco is being a little over projected. and I think that Hunt is being a little underprojected.
Okay.
So if
Let me
you
take a look at where my numbers are right now. I think they're pretty tight.
What do you think they should be at, Davis, before he says it?
they're both at like 8.5. They're both between like 8.3 and 8.8.
And you think like 7.7 or something?
I think Pacheco. I think you should. I think give. I mean, in the 5 of the carries that Pacheco is projected for should go to Hunt, in my opinion.
Okay, so in aggregate, my stuff has Hunt 0.4 points better.
Yeah, that I think is wrong, and it's also going to lead us into this spot where we're just going to do this every time.
What happened? Who?
Oh, sorry.
I can't
Sorry,
see. I'm sorry. Oh, he took Keon. So it's obviously it's going to be Mahomes and Pacheco.
Yeah. Which I think you want. You definitely, if you're doing 150 of these, you don't want 0 Pacheco. But
I got a decent amount of Hunt instead when I did my.
Okay, no, that's
I think we're going to be okay.
Okay,
I got a decent amount.
That's good to know.
So this is good because our first draft we lost a little, so it's going to average out the ridiculously plus EV lineups that we get to later.
Okay, that's good.
So we got $4 and 47.
Never mind. We're not going. We're not going to Peter Luger's.
No, we need to work the washing station.
Dan, do you think the benefit of using an EQ style sim is like exponential, or just gets better and better the smaller the field is, or do you think it's best at like a 4-gamer?
Well, you mean to actually play it?
Yeah, I mean the benefits you get from the EQ of like that we can't in our head keep all these variables of like what the other opponents are going to take in the 3rd and 4th rounds.
I think it's definitely more advantageous for smaller ones for the scarcity issue. It's going to do a better job at tracking that than I am. It's like, oh shit, this guy needs one of that, but he knows that the next guy also needs one of that, like those kinds of things.
10 game slate, there's no difference between Ramondre Stevenson and James Conner or whatever.
Right. It's almost more like when scarcity comes up in the bigger BRs, it's more like which position am I choosing next? But you still have a lot of, but usually it's less of a mistake. Like in this one, like you can make really large errors if there's if Kelce falls to the 7th draft and all of the other premium pieces have been taken and you like fail to take him, it's like a gigantic error because you couldn't get, you only got one other premium piece.
Do you think the edge of the sim is better on the 2-gamer even more than the 4-gamer?
It should be. I would think so.
Yep.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
All right, then we better do 64 more of these.
Yeah.
I'll do this right now. Favorite plays that no one really takes: running back, Samaj P. Ryan; wide receiver, it's Curtis Samuel; tight end, it's Calcaterra. They're all direct leverage on someone who's drafted 100% of the time. They all, in my estimation, have a greater probability of scoring a touchdown than their ownership would suggest. There was a couple other things. Flex can be a running back, wide receiver, or tight end. You have to do 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. I like, and I think ETR's Hollywood projection is accurate. I did go to the Underdog party at Tin Roof last Sunday. That was nice. It was nice of them to buy us some food and drinks. Now we got to go.
I got to tell you my Patrick Barnes YouTube story. Yeah. Did you have, but before we started, you had fun at the party? Did you get to meet some new people?
I did get to meet some new people, got to meet some people from Underdog.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Any other influencers there?
No other influencers there. Unless you consider like the guy who's in charge of brand, or one of the guys who's in charge of brand at Underdog and influencer. But
I do like going to these events and talking to like the people who just work for the company, like not the higher ups, but just like the ordinary employees, like at DraftKings events. I always have a good time talking to those guys.
I do too. They're the nuts and bolts, man. You don't get any of this without them. All right, give us the Patrick Barnes YouTube search.
So I'm in a draft with Mr. Barnes YouTube, and so he's loading up on Chiefs. He has like a Chiefs onslaught, and like both he and I do not have a quarterback yet, and the other two have, Allen and Daniels is gone, and my draft has gone really bad. Like I just have a bad team, which happens, I just every pick, like my EV's going down and down, like, and then I get to the last round and like the quarterback hasn't been picked, and I have no Chiefs and I have one Eagle, and the computer says you're taking Mahomes.
You're taking Mahomes.
And so I took Mahomes, and I felt bad. I'm like, it's like worth 30 cents more for me to take Mahomes, and it's worth like $8 more for him to take Mahomes. And I'm like, and then after I'm like, on principle, I can't just like soft play someone because I know who they are. So I took Mahomes. I felt really bad, but I mean, the computer wants what the computer wants, right?
That is just imagine. You can't give the nemesis of the channel $8 EV, man.
No,
I mean, I wasn't even out to get him or anything. It's like he probably thought, well, he only has one correlated piece. Surely he's not going to take Mahomes. Well, I did.
You ripped his heart out.
Sorry, it wasn't personal.
This is true. This is insane. By YouTube, it is a legit pain in the ass to join someone's channel for mobile. You can really only do it on desktop.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is insanely.
I almost accidentally joined on my phone yesterday. Someone's YouTube.
You can subscribe. You can't join.
No, you're talking about the money thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost did that yesterday. Let me get my phone. Maybe I'm going crazy.
Apparently it's really easy for Brian. It's very easy on Twitch. Pepper Tony just did it. He went over and used his Amazon Prime over on Twitch. Yeah, Dan is just a high level musician. That's why he's the nerdy tenor.
I'm a singer mostly. Yeah. Don't do cello.
Soup says Soups. This is very interesting. Soups as a non-member says there is definitely a join button.
Wow.
Non-member says there's
That's
definitely
like
a join button.
A sick burn he didn't even intend to make.
Yeah, curious, Mr. Soups. All right.
That went over my head, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Saquon plus Kelce? Yeah.
If you get a Kelce Saquon start,
awesome.
you basically those are the $250 EV.
Yeah.
Those are we are in. We are gonna do draft number 2. Kelce is the stone nuts. You love to see it.
Yes, you could definitely join from your phone. I'm checking right now.
There's a button I'm not pressing. You know what? I hope I have a Kelce Saquon in there, because if not, it's going to be really obnoxious that I spent this whole week grinding my face into a pile.
I think I got a couple. I think I got a couple of them early. Not today, but like yesterday or the day before.
Well, our friends over at Underdog, if any of you care, it would be nice to be able to like more cleanly search our teams and our exposures.
Yeah.
Kelce 2 by I'm curious, how many dollars less is James Cook worth?
Okay, let me see what it says there. I'll let it cook for a minute while the other people make their pick. You're comparing Kelce to who? Mr. Cook?
James Cook, yeah.
I'd have to let it cook for a while to know for sure.
That's fine.
Sorry, pun intended. It looks like it's about. I'll let it run as long as I can. $2-ish.
Oh, I would have guessed way more. I would have guessed like way more.
Really?
Well, I mean, drafting second, it thinks is close to break even. So there's only so much further down you can go. I mean,
Yeah, it probably thinks
it even narrowed. It's like more like $1.
$7 entry. The 101 is probably worth $37. Yeah,
20
20.
bucks or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It might have to do with this with Android or iOS. I would believe that.
No, I just checked.
No, it says Shakir.
Shakir over AJ Brown. Okay.
Isn't that interesting? And I wonder, I have a theory. Well, it's coming close. It's Shakir, Smith, Brown, Hunt. There's a lot. Actually, there's like, now that it's cooked a little longer. Yeah, but it's listing Shakir first now, so you might as well just take it. If we run it again, it'll be AJ Brown. Then it's one of those.
Fun slate for us, And Dan has 50 entries in, so how am I ever gonna win if Dan has 50 entries for Dan is like 500 for me, man. It's over. I'm cooked.
Well, I drafted during lulls. I drafted during my son's violin lesson. I did a lot. Ooh.
All right.
Is it time to let me see? So here's a case where you could
I probably would take Devonta still.
Yeah, it wants Devonta now. Yeah. It does.
I knew my mental rules would be locked in this week. I should have drafted more early. I'm an idiot. I should have gotten this max before ETR came out because I was so on it. It really was just lazy of me.
Yeah, I drafted early just because I knew I'd be getting different projection sets. So I was like, well, at least I'll get different things, if I do it on a few different days.
Yeah.
But yeah, the standout was like, why isn't Kelce going second every time?
He was legit going at the turn on Monday. Yeah. Yep. McLaurin was going ahead of him, which feels crazy in hindsight. All right. The guy at the turn does have he should not have taken McLaurin. Well, it's probably fine. But McLaurin, Worthy, Daniels. Brian Robinson Jr. I don't love.
He has close to break-even EV. He's a little, well, now he's a little behind.
They just added a $10 big one.
Yeah.
They don't want this. They consistently do this. They underestimate people's appetite to draft NFL teams.
Okay.
It'll want Hollywood here.
It wants Hollywood run. Yep, you're right.
How many dollars does it cost myself to go Hunt?
Actually, they were equal.
Okay, I'm going to take Hunt because the guy behind me is more incentivized to take Hunt than he is to take Hollywood.
Yeah, I like that.
And he might even sometimes people just get bored or they don't know what to do and they take their quarterback here, even though it's the same.
Right. Plus, this is a no Badger, and Hollywood Brown, I think, is maybe under projected in the Underdog rankings. So
yes,
that
correct.
makes it more likely.
Okay, never mind. He's woke. Snapped him.
It's all right. You're still fine. Now it's gonna say it says Eckler.
Fine by me. I think Eckler probably is a little bit under projected as well.
Okay. And
here's your guys. I'm gonna save you all. I'm gonna save you all literally hours of your life in 4-mans. Just click the 2 quarterbacks in whatever order you want them. Press the autopilot button, and you can leave the room. You don't have to wait 2 minutes.
That's how I got so many drafts done, because so many times that happened, especially in this one, where it's like, well, it's Mahomes or Hurts. And
imagine telling yourself, by the way, like 6 weeks ago, like Jalen Hurts, who was like frequently like a 2nd-round pick in BR, would be a last-round pick in the conference championship BR.
Well, I mean, this is hilarious. Like, I talk every week about how, according to my stuff, people are too horny for quarterbacks. Well, that's like times 1,000 on a slate like this, where they're all really good.
They're all the same.
I mean, they're all really good plays.
Does it want? I assume it wants Hurts because we have Devonta.
No, it prefers Mahomes.
God, I don't know. Brian, do we think we could take it? Mahomes. And I hate to click that guy. It's really difficult.
Yeah, Lex Mahomes significantly better. Now, why is
I guess.
Why is that, do we think? It's probably not a projection thing.
Well, I'm not disregarding my own time-saving advice. I'm creating content, Peppertoni.
All right, would you care to estimate the EV on this one?
It's not going to love this one. It's going to think it's fine.
Positive, I'll tell you that.
This is going to be $12.37.
This is an excellent guess. $11.48. Well done.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually agree with this. I think Kareem Hunt probably should be going ahead of Brian Robinson.
Interesting.
Which he's not. I mean, Eckler, Robinson, Hunt, and Pacheco are all projected, I believe, within 1.5 points.
Let me bring my data dump out here. Let me see.
I wonder if my
CSV.
My PGA teams, I ended up with 85% of a guy unintentionally, and he's even right now.
Okay. So what's the projected cut line though?
In Underdog daily, like in Underdog. Like,
no, I know. I'm just curious, like how good is even on this course?
Even is yesterday it was terrible, but they're they killed it. Like no one on the course is low right now. Like,
okay. Well, you might be okay. So let's look at this running back room. So not a running back room. Sort position and then
Pacheco gets there with 2 touchdowns. That's how.
So for running backs projection, I have. Okay, there's obviously Barkley, huge jump, Cook, sizable jump, and then I have Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler, and Kareem Hunt are all within 0.3 of each other in aggregate.
So
and then pretty reasonable.
I'll tell you the most underdrafted guys though are Ty Johnson and P. Ryan because their projections are like 4 points, but they could score a 17-yard touchdown and be optimal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get a little Ty Johnson. I think it's drafting 16% of drafts, but it's not getting any P. Ryan. It's like 1%, and it could be that the volatility of the projection is insufficiently high. So it might. If you're correct, the reason why you would be right is because it's not capturing the upside enough.
I guarantee, by the way, Ty Johnson is not getting drafted in 16% of these. I bet my bottom dollar it's closer to like 9%.
Yeah, so you could pick up some.
Yeah, I've taken him a couple times, but I've not seen him taken. I've seen Noah Gray go more often than I've seen Ty, which is correct, but
yeah, I've seen Gray go. Let me see what it thinks about Mr. Gray.
Well, I am curious about that. Just like what your computer makes of the scrolls in general, because
it's not super scrolly, which is a little surprising, and I think it's because so on the one hand, with less options, you might think, well, you got to scroll to get different because getting different is so valuable. But the problem is the gaps are much larger, right? You run out of much larger gaps between the tiers. And I think that is why I'm not seeing so many scrolls. So Noah Gray, I have drafted 64%. But then Dawson Knox is like the reachiest.
Whoa.
You
have him getting drafted 64% of the time?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no, I mean.
I think the reason is.
He hasn't been drafted once.
I've seen him drafted a few times. But so that implies he's not being drafted enough.
He is not being drafted enough if your stuff has him 64.
Let me see. There might be a factor involved there, which is if there's a variance in the projection across sites. No.
I'm sure there's some.
Oh, we're playing. All right. Barkley, Kelce, Cook. All right, it's the same 3 guys. Mix and match. It's going to be a worthy.
Let's do a
different set.
Let's do McLaurin this time.
Okay, do a McLaurin. And then it's gonna with McLaurin. You could take Worthy or AJ Brown. They're bopping up and down. Pick one.
Brian, let's say you could draft 150 of these without having to do the time. Like you could just hire them out.
Yeah.
What would you want a really exploitative portfolio? Like I've got 30% of this guy who's 4% drafted, or would you just do I'm getting 25% of everyone or 8% of the undrafted guys and just hoping I get the right combo?
Depends on how certain I am in my projections of combos and ownership.
Yeah.
If
I'm saying this
super
is
confident, then I would go exploitive. If I'm not, which I rarely am, I'd go more Dan stuff, which is like perfect for this setup. Like you don't even need ownership projections.
Yeah. I'm mostly I'm 25% of everyone. I'm not taking huge stands on I am taking a lot of Curtis Samuel at the end, more than Dan's numbers would have, but that's really about it.
I mean, I've told you this a bunch of times. If I'm Davis Mattek, I am making
you are doing that.
I am doing it because you spend a significant amount of your time doing this stuff. You might as well try to use it.
Yeah, if you've ever said the word targets per route run and then you draft 16% of every guy, you're a coward. Dan, what are maybe you don't have this up. What's the Sims breakdown on the flex?
Oh,
the running back, wide receiver, tight end
with my magic button. The flex numbers are 54% running back, 26% receiver, and 20% tight end.
Wow, that is crazy. That is so different from the meta of these games. My man, he gets one shipper and then starts gambling on not taking McLaurin. All right,
okay.
We get to do Jaden.
We do get to do Jaden. It's close enough. Might as well get him here.
That's why I like taking so there's a thing you can do to the room that if you do take McLaurin at that turn, everyone else is just a little bit less incentivized to take Jaden Daniels, and that's how you set up your Jaden Daniels teams.
It's interesting. I also wonder if people are like, oh shit, he took this. I better take Daniels before he does. But I think your thing is probably more right. Now, it doesn't love our team right now, but it's giving us Kincaid, Ertz, Hollywood Brown.
Kincaid?
I know, weird. It's at the point where it's like, this team is weird.
This team can't be saved.
It's like, I got to get weird. Yeah, Kincaid, Ertz, Hollywood Brown are the top three.
Double tight end is awesome.
It's viable this week for sure.
Yeah. Kincaid, man.
Now you have to root for quarterback being taken. These free up some draft capital for you.
Well, it probably won't happen, but
you don't want them to wait until the last round.
No, we'll take it's fine. We're gonna take Noah Gray in our flex. Easy shipper. Can't be mad about it. Yeah, I want to draw the number one. I mean, one, so I can get more Barkley teams, but also so that the computer can be like, oh my God, you're a genius. Oh my God, you drew the 101 $75 team.
The thing that I think is both good at equilibrium and also as an exploit, if you get the 101, is on the 2-3 turn, you do not take a quarterback. Because that's the pattern I keep seeing. And it's also the pattern that the computer doesn't like, which is like a double whammy. It's like everybody's doing that. So the combo is overrepresented. Plus the computer doesn't even think it's good. So like that makes me think, you get your Barkley and your Devonta Smith, and then I don't know, another running back or something weird. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay, there we go. Someone did take a quarterback early for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that helps us a little. We're still probably going to have a negative EV team.
Negative team.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, we get Brian Robinson Jr., who your computer will like.
Yes. Brian Robinson Jr. is one of our picks here. And
the lowest guy that your software shows?
$1.12. $1.12 for Colson Yankoff.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, you'd have $1.12 EV.
I learned a guy today. Colson Yankoff.
No, you've never taken that fucking guy. Who are you gonna take?
You know what? Let's take Noah Gray because there's just no way I have even come close to drafting him at the If your stuff is right, if your computer is right, I am like shamefully low.
So let's look at the Noah Gray. So the average projection across my 4 sources is only 4 for him in FanDuel points. It could be that one of them has an outlier, and so when that happens, that basically says, oh, this projection is more volatile, so it's going to increase his upside. Let me see if anybody's super hot on him. So I have a 4-2, a 4-9, a 3-3, and a 3-4. No, not. So something else must be going on.
That is ATL Braves 1993. Dusted off his laptop to join the channel. I mean, it's basically an American hero. Give that guy a Purple Heart.
1993 Braves. That was a great team, man.
Awesome.
Avery, Glavin, Maddox wasn't there yet. Who else was in that rotation? Smoltz.
So here's why it's taking Noah Gray and Dawson Knox higher than the field. So the tight ends in order of projection are Kelce and then big jump. Goddard, Ertz, Kincaid, big jump, Gray and Knox, and then it's like dust.
Zeros.
So it's because there's only 6 choices, I'm guessing, that getting one of them in there. And the other reason why it might be coming up is because if double tight end is viable, you might be stuck with one of them, right? So it could be that it's not that it's good per se. That's like, oh shit, somebody went double tight end. I'm picking the last tight end, so I have to get either, Noah Gray or Dawson Knox because that's who's left. Right? It could be as simple as that.
Someone's asking about how far down do you take Allen? I mean, I just basically very rarely have the pleasure of doing so.
If you want to do my strategy and middle it, I wouldn't recommend this because I think you're giving up too much, but would you care to guess how late the equilibrium strategy takes, Josh Allen?
It's got him after Devonta, so that would be the 9th pick, the 10th pick?
It's taking him 15th.
Yeah, so
on average. We're never getting it at that number.
That is surprising to me that I have more Daniels than Mahomes. But I guess he is frequently available there at the 10th pick. Huh.
Uh-huh.
A lot of Kareem Hunt, a lot of Eckler.
I have all of the
Hollywood.
Kelce. My God, how much Kelce do I have?
45% for me.
I think I'm
really trying to maximize your happiness, huh, Davis?
I kind of think they're gonna lose.
What do I have?
I don't want them to lose, but I am officially on concerned watch.
You'd be proud of me, Davis. I have 40% Kelce and 62% Mahomes.
I knew you were gonna be all over. I knew you were gonna be all over Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I will just say this: the reason why my exposures don't look exactly like Dan's does, despite knowing what Dan's computer was gonna say, I'm just too much of a coward to do 300 drafts and be like, well, if this one very specific but also kind of likely thing happens, I get no money back. You know what I'm like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I have the luxury of having a very long season across many, many different fantasy sports. So like me, if I lose literally 150 drafts, that's like one high stakes NBA entry. So like I can just hammer things and I don't really care. Like it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I totally get it. And the thing I would say is if you want to take, when you're like, oh God, I know everyone's taking him too early, but I want to get some. Think extra special hard about how to get different when you're taking the guy is going too early. That's what I would say.
Cooper. Knox.
It's like, if I have to do this.
Take Knox. Yeah, there we
go.
How rich? How rich?
Not that rich. It's just very diversified.
except when you're doing, yeah.
This one, Davis.
Yes.
You don't diversify just to diversify, right?
Right.
When the EV's the same, you can diversify, or if in some rare cases it's even it benefits, but it's pretty rare.
All right.
Okay, it's the usual suspects.
The lobby hates us right now, man.
Yeah,
that is another pick 4.
Both in our picks and in not getting handed any easy EV yet. People, yeah. So which 2 are you going to go this time?
Let's do my favorite 2 is Worthy and Brown.
Yeah. It likes that combo slightly more than the others, probably.
Yeah. I think it does it for the same reason I like it mentally, which is it sets up your stack both ways with the quarterback at the end.
I assume that's part of the EV.
Yeah. There's a join option, but no gift options on mobile. Basically, what I'm hearing is everyone at YouTube wants me to stay poor forever. They want me to have to take 10 to 15% Josh Allen just to avoid zeros. They do not want me playing DFS like Dan.
Yeah, I mean,
what can you do?
Hey, you can play lots of different fantasy sports and still get your ass handed to you. Like, I have all these diversified things that are uncorrelated with each other, and I just lit money on fire for 3 weeks straight. So
yep.
No, honestly, the Saquon teams are kind of an auto cash. Not like an auto win, but it does feel like they're just automatically cashing.
This is the most extreme I've seen the EV delta on a 2 gamer.
Yeah.
Where it's like, holy shit, if you pick first, it's so valuable.
Norgard with another bogey, dude. They do not want me to prosper. This guy also has
This is an example of what I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
This guy's a different name in the Underdog app than he has on the PGA Tour website, which is annoying.
Okay.
It's gonna want Daniels.
Checo, Goddard, Hollywood Brown are currently winning.
Not Daniels.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can override because the difference is small. So this is a good time.
We're gonna override because this is
it's a small difference.
If you guys look at this board right now, well, let me make this second pick and then I'll explain.
Now it wants to get Diami Brown, but you might wait if you don't think anyone will take it.
No, that's fine because I have like none of him. So when the board is exactly this, Worthy, Devonta, Shakir, McLaurin, AJ Brown, then this is the key part. Hunt and Eckler are both also gone. That is when you take Daniels. Like I would probably do this at 100% clip, honestly, of taking Now I would diversify. Sometimes Ertz, sometimes I take McNichols, which is not going to show up in Dan's software. That's how you get Daniels in a way that doesn't kill your teams, in my opinion. Because everyone else from this point, outside of the ETR Hollywood Brown projection, is super flat.
Yeah.
Please make some bogeys, Nicholas Norgard. All right. You playing any golf DFS, Brian?
No. Haven't started back yet since the season started.
I haven't played much in a while. I haven't had my DK rep ask me, like, you going to play some more golf this year?
You going to play some golf, brother?
I'm like, I'm not sure. I have to work on my stuff.
Yeah, that's a real problem. I don't want to do it unless I have something new, and I just don't have anything new.
True. There you go. Someone just took Worthy at 3 and Allen at 2. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the North Course is like absolutely killing dudes after letting multiple people
is it the
Torrey Pines.
At the Palmer or whatever?
Torrey Pines, brother.
Torrey Pines, okay.
Yeah. Beautiful. I really like that course, but
so
it's not being kind.
You got an unfortunate break here in that the guy drafting second took 2 tight ends. So you might get. Oh, and he also took 2 tight ends.
All right, so we have a Noah Gray team.
A Noah Gray or a Dawson Knox if the next guy takes Noah Gray.
God, can you imagine?
This is a good example where like the quote unquote optimal percentages might just in some cases they just reflect the fact that every once in a while you get screwed. Like it's not that you want this to be in your lineups 15% of the time. It's that it's going to happen to somebody 15% of the time.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily mean you're, yep, there you go. Oh, he took Knox anyway, so you get Gray. Yeah, you are not loving this draft. Now it says, Robinson, Pacheco.
Well, here, this team is already worthless.
You want to just get Ty Johnson here?
Yeah. This we've already nuked all of our EV. So it's like what we were talking about on the Endgame show yesterday. Like your NBA teams are totally dead. Your baseball teams are totally dead. So you swap to like, I'm literally the only person in the contest who would even consider these combinations of players. And in the one time in the universe it's needed, you win.
So this is would you care to guess the EV of this team?
Oh, $1, no, $2.34.
Way too high. It thinks 90 cents.
Okay, I said $1 was too low.
But again, like the place it's likely to be wrong, if it is wrong, is not just the ownership thing. It'll be wrong in 2 directions. First of all, the field won't be as high projected in the real world as the field in the EQ field, number one. And number two, the Ty Johnson projection may not be capturing the upside volatility of a player like that accurately. Yeah. So there might be more spike scores possible than it thinks for such a player. It's very hard to project. These very low projected players are really tricky. I mean, it just makes sense.
Their bands are just so wide, and football is more iterative than baseball, less iterative than basketball. But like, if you think about it, like think about baseball battle royale, like projections would like almost be useless because you just be like, well, no one else is stacking the Mariners. I took the Mariners 5, 6, 8 guys. I'm locked in, Great example of this, actually. The Christmas slate. Justin Watson broke the slate because he was basically I remember I had because I'm an idiot homer. I had like 4% of him, which was like 3x the field. So I was like, oh, here we go. We got the 101. We got the 101. We can
draft Ty Johnson again. Here we go.
We can draft Ty Johnson again. Ty Johnson with the 101. I wonder what the threshold is in a BR this big in throwing teams out, because they
yeah, I wonder that too.
Because you could certainly argue like that's my strategy. My strategy is everyone's so confident in X, Y, and Z. I'm less confident in the field, so I'm going to draft a bunch of shitty, horribly projected teams. I know Colson Yankoff's getting a touchdown.
Yeah, one dynamic I've seen, which Brian and I went over on Endgame Syndicate in theory, and it happened in practice. There's a dynamic where, let's say you're drafting the second, and you're making your second pick, and you have like 3 picks that are roughly equal in EV, but one pick is a little bit better, maybe, but it's close, and you pass it just because you're mixing your strategy. And it hugely benefits the player who's drafting next. So you seed EV to somebody else because you're trying to get different. Like it's definitely a thing. And I don't know how they make their decisions at Underdog, but it sounds hard. Like I don't know how I would go about it personally if I were to design a system, because I understand what they're trying to do.
Hey Chris, you beat Peter. You beat Peter, Chris. So if you beat Pete, you score one for the good guys. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I've not gotten one thrown out yet.
I haven't either. I had one where I'm like, this one might get tossed. We'll see.
You want to know my number one pet peeve?
Hit it.
NBA ones that get thrown out when the contest is closed, because I draft the buzzer beater, which is the $3 one. I just do like 8 at a time on the treadmill. And then sometimes I'll get an email in the afternoon that it gets tossed out. And then the contest will be full and I'll only have 19. I'll only have 19 in the draft, which is that triggers me. It's going to be Shakir.
It wants Devonta Smith more than it wants Smith now.
That is interesting,
isn't it? Though.
Yeah.
And now it wants Shakir to go with it.
Yeah. Okay. I think the boundary for getting thrown out is it's got to be something extraneous. It can't just be based on how they're projected. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be above and beyond just a poor projected team. It's got to be some other filter that they have, I think.
I don't know. I at one point I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna figure out what they're doing, and I was like, I'm gonna save every draft, and then I'm gonna track it, and I got lazy and I stopped doing it because I wanted to know what was going on.
Colson Yankoff gets drafted. If you have Barkley, I said this at the beginning of the stream, but yes, you do not want all your Barkley to be with Shakir. Think of your Barkley team as a beautiful, precious baby. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket with your high EV Barkley teams. You want to take Shakir sometimes, you want to take Devonta sometimes, you want to take Kareem Hunt sometimes. But I mean, like, imagine Barkley gets 37 and you have 30 Barkley teams, but Khalil Shakir gets 9. Sure, you can still win, but it's a lot harder to win with 9 with him. I mean, it's like we see this happen in salary cap DFS, where when the chalk goes off, you'll see like a snowflake guy in there just because there are only so many permutations that people actually play.
Yeah.
Like it's very rare for the quote unquote actual perfect lineup to be the winning salary cap DFS lineup. It's just too many permutations.
Except in like Showdown NFL or MMA.
Yeah.
You see it there.
I think 8 for Allen is fine.
If you really want to force yourself to take some Allen, why not then? It's saying Pacheco here. Goddard it's like Pacheco, and then the next pick it has 3 choices of which one Goddard is one.
Well, let's take Goddard and then see
Goddard first. See what it does. Yeah. Now it's interesting. Pacheco and Diami Brown are close.
Yeah, let's do a 3 wide receiver team. This will be more uncommon.
3 wide receiver is perfectly viable this week. Yeah.
It's definitely okay to draft Kelce and Worthy at that 4-5 turn. Might even be optimal. Might even be like the GTO way to approach that turn slot.
I think any amount of stacking is fine in a 2-gamer.
Okay.
It's gonna like your team. My crystal ball.
Jaybird was in second, or was in first of the main BR in week 18. He's in Peter's Discord. He's in the Deposit Kingdom. He ended up getting second in the main BR, but he was first for a long time. Mm-hmm. He was also first for like the entire afternoon. God, that would just tilt me because I just want to win so bad. I want to win these BRs so bad. I would be so tilted to be in first all day and then get second.
I got some bad news.
Oh no.
Trump just signed an executive order, Davis, that if you defy Dan Sims more than 3 times in a day, you go right to jail.
I don't think I've defied it once.
I know, but you just got to be careful. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh, somebody wants to know how much their team is worth. I'll see what it says after your next.
Let me guess. Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it'll be like $12.
We're gonna have to keep our eye on him.
No, it's not as good as I thought. So I thought
I was expecting negative crypto stuff. Davis could be going to jail, Nolan. You don't even care.
Okay.
Is it?
So I thought Steve L's team was worth $4.56. I would have guessed more than that, honestly.
I would have guessed more too. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Our team is worth $21.
$51.50.
Oh, come on, man.
How much?
But again, the thing we said before.
How much?
That was certainly an overestimate. $51.50.
51. Okay. All right. Well,
So-
we lost money on some earlier ones, though, so I'm not sure we can go to Alenia anytime soon, Davis.
Let me read off the projections of the 4 teams from bottom to top. Not in order, but yours is the top. This is using an average of the 4 sources, and this is FanDuel numbers, so it's not exactly right, but 59.6, 65.6, 65.7, and 78.2. Like, it's just a huge gap.
It's a
between
joke.
These teams. The Barkley teams are so much higher projected.
Huh. How much does he make you? Just getting that first pick. I mean, it's probably the buy-in, isn't it?
I was gonna more, double.
Oh yeah, it's probably you're getting. Well, it depends how well your opponents draft, of course. But like, I think. Actually, you know what I can do?
Can't you not take them first and see how much it costs you?
Well, what I'm going to do. So I think in practice, it's worth more.
Ninth in the Wildcat is 6, Stefan.
Nice.
That's a shipper.
That is not easy. Yeah, I think it's worth a lot even at equilibrium, and it's going to worth even more against the field because the field is likely to punt off their draft capital on quarterbacks too early by the time it comes back to you. So, like, whatever the EQ number is, it's probably more, is my guess. If my stuff is correct, which is a big if.
Oh, damn it. I already did this. I was going to say A1 is already maxed. I was going to say I would do the victory formation, but I already did it.
No, okay.
Sorry, A1. 38% Saquon. Yeah, you are.
That's Sun
I'm gonna
Running.
get another drink. I'll be back.
All right.
You are. Oh, and speaking of Sun Run, we get
Hey, twice in a row.
So I like while we're talking about this, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, maybe this is a bad week to be doing a bunch of entries. Like, it's total variance fest. There's a huge gap. And I'm like, no, actually, it's awesome because sure, 75% of my entries are at a huge disadvantage, but 25% of my entries, because I roughly know what I'm doing more than the field does, are way more valuable than they normally would be. And you really should not expect to cash 25% of your entries in a normal BR week anyway. You know, normally half your entries are drawing dead, half are like sweating them in cash, half of that remaining half, and then maybe 10 to 15% of yours are live for a top 1% finish or something.
I almost wonder if there isn't a multiplier effect. Like, when drafting first is a huge advantage, it feels like being really sharp is even more valuable than usual.
So like normally I would say the thing that separates a bad player from a good player in main slate BRs is knowing how to layer the projected players in together to like get as many high projected lineups as possible. Cause a lot of people scroll too much. They get too far away from the optimal. Same thing as salary cap DFS.
Sure.
And the combinatorial ownership. And I think this week the edge is it would just be balancing and getting the right exposures with your Barkley teams. And I wonder your thoughts on this, Dan. I think the Kelce tight end edge is almost as big as the Barkley running back edge. Like, sure, there could theoretically be a world where Barkley is the highest scoring player of the slate, but not in the team that wins BR.
Right.
Because Kelce outscored every other tight end by 12.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's really it's just a function of the drop off. It's a good example.
Yeah.
It's not like Kelce is projected for a huge number of absolute points. It's just the drop off is so large. I mean,
yeah. Brian, do you have any thoughts on that? If there's one draft slot that is worth, exponentially more than the other three, is that better or worse if you're a sharp player? Like if you're a break-even player, does that make you more or less likely to play? If you're a bad player,
I would say it doesn't matter.
worthy 100%.
Classic great Brian answer. It doesn't matter.
Or it's bad. Those are my guesses. I don't know.
Just wants worthy and player. It just wants worthy and Shakir here for what it's worth.
What did you answer, Dan?
I think it's better for a good player because
how much money does it cost me to not take Shakir?
So if you want to do, it's $91 for Shakir and $67 for Devonta.
All right. Well, I can't fade that. But
these numbers
I do think this is the number one most overowned combo.
Well, in that case, go ahead and do something else. I'm not against it.
I cannot wait for you to tell me I have the EV of a team that's $250. I mean,
$1,000.
Davis, that's one.
I did what it said. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I did what it said, Brian.
I just don't want you to go to jail.
No, but it's a good example of where I would override. If you see this combo all the time, I'd be overriding it a fair bit. Because my stuff's going to be like, oh my God, this combo is so valuable because you can never get to it because nobody's drafting Josh Allen in the second, draft. So it's going to think it's better than it is, of course.
You can, this will happen where sometimes Daniels will go real late. No one's really making any mistakes obviously this is a 4 Badger.
No, Josh Allen second, I think is not good.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. Yeah. That's how we got Worthy.
That's how we got the team. Yeah.
And then he took McLaurin over Worthy with Allen. I mean, I gotta be honest.
It might just be he's like, I need this combo. I don't have this combo yet in my set. I think there's some people who play this way. They obsess about. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying it's a thing where they're like, I need to check off all these combo boxes in the first 2 rounds, as many as I can get. Which I kind of get. I kind of get the philosophy there. All right. Now
it's gonna want Hollywood.
Cheats. Yeah, it does. Wants Hollywood Brown and or a Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, this in my mental math, the EV of this team is $30,000 because it's gonna get first place.
Are you gonna take both? So
yes,
Hollywood Brown it likes the most of all.
Well, I took Hunt after taking Hunt. Does it?
Oh no, now it's changing. Wait, no, wait, I clicked it wrong. Just a second. You took Kareem.
Yeah.
And now it wants. Oh shit! I typed this in wrong.
Ertz.
Oh right, because it wants Ertz.
Yeah.
Oh, it wants Mahomes or Ertz.
Yeah.
Ertz. It's not too worried about. Yeah, it wants Ertz.
Yeah. They've done this before. They've done all flexes before. So.
Oh yeah, straight flex.
I think people didn't like it. I think they did it for the Super Bowl once, and I don't think people loved it.
Right. I was confused because I didn't realize it was either receiver or running back, but not both.
Yeah, I same thing for me.
What's happening?
Yeah.
I think now it makes sense.
Oh yeah, and it was PPR too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh shit. I took Kincaid. I had the wrong guy starred.
Oh shit.
I ruined this team. Well, I threw it in the dumpster.
That's okay. It's gonna be fine.
No, it's not.
It's still okay.
Oh,
It's
I'm
still
going to
it's
jail by the end of this
no.
stream.
It's gonna work. It's gonna be worth a lot anyway. Oh no, he took Mahomes. God damn it.
Now it's worth less.
Yeah, it'll be worth less. It'll still be worth something.
30K to 0. Many such
No.
cases. Many such cases.
All right, let's start computing what it's worth here. Oh no, this is a very good team though. It's weird, but it's really highly projected still.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, so this is the kind of team where I could believe. This is just a theory. I could believe this is the kind of team that's plus EV and has zero chance of getting first place. Just because
zero chance of getting unduped first place. None.
Just because it's like for like Worthy and Hunt to be optimal without Mahomes. I mean, it can happen. I don't know.
Worthy could score a rushing touchdown.
This is maybe not a great example, but in theory, you could have a team in a two gamer that's just so high projected, but it has no correlation. So like, it's going to get a really high average score, but it's really going to win. But it could still be plus EV.
We're talking about this on the in-game stream too, about how sometimes even knowing you're going to be duped doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean, it matters. It's just you're still okay with it because it's still plus EV. I mean, you'd obviously prefer not to be duped. Estimate on the EV of this team gone awry?
$42.
$76.93.
You just can't beat it. You just are not beating in terms of expected value. You were not beating the 101.
No, it's just such a huge advantage this week. Yeah. You see this in NBA all the time, by the way, where like a short slate NBA, where it's like Jokic and Giannis
after dark.
And yeah, it's like there's one or two highly projected guys, and like your EV drops off a cliff if you don't get to pick them.
Saquon Barkley is just really bestowing gifts upon us.
Yeah, just crushing it with the random number generator.
I just need more influencer 101s.
There you go. I got to sign up for that program. I keep forgetting.
It's a good program. I don't really have many complaints.
Yeah.
My God, the golf is just off the rails today. I have not gotten a good golf tilt, guys, in a while. It's been some time. Is there just anything like watching a professional golfer make a double bogey and you're like, look, man, I've golfed. I know golf. It's really hard.
It's so
but this is your job. This is your job, and you're making double bogeys, man.
Golf is basically impossible. Like
in real life to play or in DFS?
Yeah, just to play it. It's so absurd.
It's so much harder than it looks. It's crazy.
Oh my God. No, I mean, you watch enough of it and you see like just absolute studs look like complete fools, like on the regular. It's just sport is hard. I really don't know another sport like it in that respect.
It's like everyone can shoot a basketball. Everyone can catch a football. Not everyone can like literally even hit a golf ball 50 feet.
I probably
just
cannot.
Too hard for some people.
With some practice, I might be able to.
I think we're in a sharp room here, Dan.
Yeah, so it's saying Shakir, Pacheco, Eckler. You could take Josh Allen if you want. Want to do that?
Let's just do it. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
I probably have like very, very little of this combo.
Yeah, I've seen a few Barkley Allen combos, but not that many. So
it was more common on like Monday and Tuesday. It's less common now.
And now you can just take Shakir. It's very easy. It's an easy pick now.
Yeah, I was more worried about. So I did a stream on Tuesday drafting these. I was like, oh, I'm worried these combos are too duped. But now after drafting a bunch of them today, it's less
Yeah.
It's certainly way less duped.
Hmm.
I would not be surprised by this, honestly. If Numi was just like Barkley, Kelce, nope, sorry. Actually,
I don't know, but there were a good number of them early. I think, yeah, I don't know how you handle that. Because like early in the week, I had a couple. I saw a couple other people get them.
Brian, what do you think it says about my mental health that I'm already drafting fantasy football teams for next season?
Means you're totally normal, totally healthy.
Thoughts and prayers. Sending thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
We were talking about this on Lulz, me and Pete, with the like betting with your buddies at the B-dubs, and you're all in the same bed, and it's just so much fun. For like $20, you can't like get more fun, and you can actually make 40. You know, you can make money back.
Yeah,
it's like such a great entertainment product. So like, I don't know. Are you enjoying it?
Yes. Nothing, almost nothing outside of like my wife and my dogs like brings me more joy than drafting fantasy football teams, honestly.
There you go.
Oh, I got Brown, Kincaid, Hunt.
Okay. Let's save a wide receiver pick because I want to take a Bills wide receiver and see what the EV is.
Okay, so you're taking Hunt first?
Hunt and then Kincaid. And then we're going to save a wide receiver pick for the end.
Okay.
Bills wide receiver and see what the EV is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm in right now. Roto World is like for their website. They're doing like a way too early draft, like just for content. And I'm like very seriously thinking about my picks. I'm like, oh man, I got to do because the big board is going to be open in like 6 days, I think.
They do it before the Super Bowl, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
This is straight madness.
Caleb Williams, DJ Moore stack. That's got to be up there.
You know what, Brian? I'm just going to take DJ right now in this. I just got the email. Oh, never mind. He got selected. Maybe I can take Rome.
Yeah.
Got him. Done.
Got it.
Ben Johnson. Don't you know about that,
baby?
It's all coming together.
How much is first place in that?
Last year it was $200K for the big board. I'm guessing it's going to be significantly bigger this year, like significantly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You're wrong though. I guess the draft caddy should work for that too, huh?
Yes, it should.
Okay, so we're at the receiver spot.
All right, tell me the EV of Cooper, Hollins, and Samuel if you have that.
Well, I'll read from the top down. Keon Coleman 22, Zacchaeus 21, Cooper 17, Samuel 16, Hollins 13.
All right, this is how you immediately nuke the value.
Cooper moved up a little.
I took Coleman.
Okay, finished at $20.56 for this dude.
So that's how you nuke the value of your Barkley team. Take Josh Allen.
But the thing is, by the time you got to that node, Josh Allen was actually a pretty good choice. That wasn't a reach according to my software. It was just a good choice.
This actually, I think this might end up being one of the sharpest takes on the in the market. Zacchaeus got injured last week. He hurt his groin and he came back in. He's gonna play. He's not gonna be out. But Crowder is gonna take, I think, like half his routes, and he's gonna be like 1% drafted.
Yeah, let me see what.
What if as soon as your third pick of not doing what Dan Sims say, just immediately there's a raid in your house?
The sirens come on.
So this is a good example. What you brought up is a really good example of the volatility of the low projected guys. Okay, so Zacchaeus in my 4 projection sources, average projection 4.7. Okay, Zacchaeus average, 4.7 Zacchaeus, and then Crowder 2.3, right? That's not a very big difference. But the difference in draft rate in my stuff, it's 40% Zacchaeus and
1%.
0.2% Crowder. So if you just move that projection just a tiny bit, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more viable. So that's a case where
more and more people are saying it all the time.
Yeah. Ooh, Josh Allen went first.
Oh my God, we got Kelce.
Yes, we do have Kelce.
Kelce Cook.
Yep, Kelce Cook is the combo. Sweet. Cancellation coming in 3, 2. No, I don't know.
Yeah, no one else go rogue in this. Please just
behave. Yeah.
Please just let us live.
Especially at the 4, isn't that like the shitty spot?
It is, I think.
Pretty hard to get this combo. I've gotten it maybe, I don't know, I've done 150 drafts across everything. Maybe I've gotten it.
Saquon went 2. Too.
Yeah,
some people are just not woke. They've not awoken yet.
So long term, I mean, long term, the best thing to happen for these games is for Barkley to just suck. And they'll be see? You know, that's what you're ironically rooting for, I think.
Well, just best thing to happen for this week is for Barkley to get like 16. So like theoretically you could win with him, but you don't have to have, you know what it's more about the other combos of guys that you do. The thing that stinks for a 2-game slate is when one guy gets 40 and then it's just like, well,
just
there's
have to have
you
him.
could do. Yeah.
Yeah. Just got to have that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. This Aaron is correct on Monday and Tuesday. Kelce and Cook was the most common 4 or 5 combo. So it is so funny how those things happen. Like the field is just so random, you know?
No badge. Yeah. No badge. You're right.
No badge behavior.
Yeah. His EV's not looking so hot right now.
Ooh. De'Ami Brown, brother.
That's, I mean, ironically, my stuff doesn't hate it because it's like, wow, your team has started so bad as it is that you might as well just do something random. It did not.
Daniels feels like an unforced error there. Maybe not.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Devonta goes. That would have been a gift for us.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels should not have gone there. So, Eckler and Ertz are winning at the moment. Eckler, Ertz winning. It's fun.
David, look at the other tight ends, though, brother. I agree with you that the running backs are bad, but look at the other tight ends compared to Kelce.
Okay, you're doing Eckler?
Doing Eckler.
Okay, now, given that you took Eckler, now it says Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood. Yep, that's what I thought.
Or Hopkins. You could mix in Hopkins there if you wanted.
I'm just taking Hopkins only when like it's set up that way.
Yeah, I get it.
I do have some Juju.
So my stuff's not drafting him at all. Yeah.
41%. He ran the same amount of routes as Hopkins last week. Both ran 41%.
Yeah.
Do the Sims know that, brother?
Yeah, I feel like knowing something about specifically like the third string guys can be extremely valuable in this kind of format. Any short game. I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious.
I mean, just even as something as simple as being like Curtis Samuel should actually be the 3rd projected wide receiver, not the 5th projected wide receiver for the Bills is, I'm really not taking much of Zacchaeus. I probably have more Crowder than Zacchaeus, honestly, which is not the way the field is. Zacchaeus is going to play, though.
For what it's worth, I didn't find myself getting to him much as it is in the drafts that I did. I think I got like 3 out of 50 or something like that.
There's just this very funny thing that happens in the PTPs, like when there's no ADP. People still hew to the order that the players are in on their screen. They just psychologically cannot help it. That I don't. It's they just are like, oh well, Zacchaeus is in my thing, so I got to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
It wants. Oh wow, this is fun. Super stack. It wants Mahomes and Hopkins.
Yep. Bang.
All right.
Mahomes, Cook, Eckler, Hollywood, Hopkins, Kelce. Probably like the real life thing to do would be to take one of the Bills wide receivers there, but that I
maybe.
do not like that team.
What do you think the EV of this is now?
$4.86.
$19.50.
Wow. Oh, because someone else messed up. I forgot. They messed up.
Yeah.
Man. This has
the
really
Kelce Cook combo should be uncommon. And it would be at equilibrium also. Yeah, I think that must be it.
Something that has really been apparent to me from doing these streams is how much of your expectation as a gambler is just from your opponents making like horribly easily avoidable mistakes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's most obvious in these two gamers, right?
The people want to know what the EV is. Here, if I put it on this tab, we can get his final pick. They want. I'm reloading it in the other screen. So Ty Johnson. Okay. People want to know what the EV of the Josh Allen at 1 team is.
Let me take a look. Okay, I'm solving it now.
It's not going to be. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad.
My laughter is giving it away, but
17 cents.
We got 40 cents here.
Oh, you turned a $90 EV slot into 14 cents, brother.
It's just too low. It's just the projection is too low. I think it's just as simple as that.
No, I mean that is just like he made a mistake at like every slot. Not AJ Brown.
AJ Brown was fine. Okay, Josh Allen 1 was a mistake. Diami Brown 3 was a mistake. Amari Cooper was a mistake.
Goddard was probably fine.
Is fine. So he got Goddard is fine, and then Ty Johnson is.
But other than that, Mrs. Lincoln.
Maybe no Badgers should just not be allowed to participate in primetime paloozas, like for their own safety. Like Gary Gensler should step in and protect this guy.
There should be like a alert siren screen that comes up first.
You should be like you are the fish. You are the one giving away the EV.
Fish detected. Fish detected.
Man.
Yeah,
that is. I've not seen very much. Not seen very many people just full punt like that in these.
Well, what's interesting, it also tells you how bad drafting 4th is, because despite having that guy in your room, you only got $20 of EV out of it.
Yeah,
like
we're getting shit spots here, huh? Yeah. Am I just?
Well, we got the one like 3 times in a row.
Did we? Okay, I thought we only had it once.
James Cook here. Damn, I just had a thought. Oh, something I did notice. This is about a different thing about playoff best ball. Is my pods are full of the most mouth breathing. Like I wondered if like that people are actually overstating how soft the fields are, and this actually all the EV has been sucked out of the rooms, and this is now just like every other gambling activity where it's all just nerds competing against each other. And I mean, I did horrible in playoff best ball. Like my team's like I am not advancing. This is Cook.
You actually have choices here. Anything sensible here is fine. It's not a great spot. Okay.
But I did happen to look at. I have 5 teams that are alive in various semifinals, the conference championship round, and like there are people who didn't even have the concept of a plan on what they were doing. Like with like people who drafted like Atlanta Falcons, like players who were not eligible at any point when the draft was open for like just crazy shit. So I guess I'm going even harder at playoff best ball next year.
It's slightly favoring McLaurin here is correct. Yeah.
Say that again, Brian.
How'd you do?
So bad. So bad. Like you actually can't. Okay. I had 89 teams in the semifinals, right? Or the quarterfinals. 89 teams. None of them were mathematically dead in terms of they couldn't field 5 rosters. 5 the quarterback.
You got none through or something, right?
I got none through. What do you think the odds of that are?
Not great.
I
think they're pretty unlucky.
Like I had a Barkley teams with like 102 points that didn't advance. Like just some of the funniest shit. You can't even be mad if that happens to you. It's what am I gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is true. There was a little bit of time where the Falcons were favored. Sure. It's gonna let us take Josh now, I think.
Okay. Well, no. Well, it's our team is such shit. You might as well.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
Our team is crap right now.
But we're gonna get it back.
Sure we are.
This is the winner right here. We're gonna take Curtis Samuel later, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get back to even. Yeah, I mean, look, this is basically the issue is that I was very light on the Commanders relative to the field, and you can't even say Commanders drafters were stupid because Commanders drafters got their teams to the conference semifinals. So my opinion on what was a coin flip game in round 1, Commanders Buccaneers, like basically I just got that wrong and therefore kind of was excommunicated from winning.
Yeah, well, it's good for you not to get mad at that. There's plenty of people who do get mad at that kind of stuff. It's just such a waste of time.
Eckler or Goddard?
It wants Pacheco, but I know you probably don't like it. Pacheco, and then it's Goddard, Robinson, Hopkins, Zacchaeus, Eckler.
Well, let's take Goddard because we could. I think Pacheco will come back around.
Yeah. I mean, this just happens sometime. You take a plus EV stand and it doesn't go your way and you lose all the money.
Well, it's really like it's phenomenal. The people were like not wanting to take Chiefs players, you know, and they had a 45% implied probability of being in the final round. Like almost like I think they were 10% better than every other team in the field. And it's just really crazy. Yeah. No, but this is true. I think this was probably a mistake to not be like legitimately like even on those. The thing was though, is it was supposed to be Bucks Packers. The Commanders, I don't remember exactly what it was. The Commanders were supposed to have a much more difficult. It was supposed to be Commanders Eagles, right? It was supposed to be Commanders Eagles.
Ooh. DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, it's not that much better. Yeah. You can get Eckler.
It doesn't want Pacheco now.
Yeah, well, it's saying a lot of things. Never a good sign. Eckler, Kincaid, Cooper.
We'll do. You know what? No, it wanted Pacheco before. The computer has to stick. It can't change its mind.
It's like a 30-cent difference. It's like no rounding error, basically. Yeah. This is not going to be our finest team.
This was it. It was supposed to be Rams Buccaneers, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been too long.
So now it's saying Coleman or Samuel.
We're already dead, so we're going to scroll a little bit. We're going to take Curtis Samuel.
It's not a scroll actually at this point. Sure. So this is another pattern I should point out. Like we've seen before from the software. Like when it thinks your team is sufficiently shit, at some point it will do something super random because it's like, oh my God, I'm so underprojected relative to the field. I'm like blocked everywhere. Like for me to win with this team is basically impossible unless something really freaking weird happens. So it starts mixing in players you just don't see being played, which I think is kind of, it's like there's an inflection point of crappiness where it's like, sure, you can play Mac Hollins. Go ahead, you know?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
All right.
There's like no point of taking the obvious pick at that point or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, yeah, because anytime the obvious pick is optimal, you're already so far behind.
That's kind of counterintuitive, I think, to like a standard drafter. I think they'd go, okay, my team sucks. Give me the highest projected guy who's like gonna play a little bit.
You know what I think? And I'm just guessing here, but I think it makes sense because I've seen this behavior in late swap and NBA DFS or other sports where it's like when you're competing optimal swaps, like there's a point at which we're like, okay, this lineup has a decent chance to cash, but it's not going to win. So just jam in the chalk and let's hope to cash. But then there's a point at which it's so bad that jamming the chalk guarantees that you lose. And it flips and it says, now I have to do something weird, pray for a blowout, and then maybe I'll cash. So I feel like this is a similar dynamic where it's like a point is reached where it's like, well, now I have to get nuts and hope to get my money back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if Curtis Samuel's who you need, then we're live. All right, we get another Kelce team, so that's nice. Just give me my 17 points right there. We're finding shippers.
Kelce is really nice to take for another reason besides the big gap. It's like you miss out at premium quarterback, and you're fine.
Yes.
Right? It's like you've got this back thing in your pocket in addition to the points, the correlation bit, if you want it, which is really nice.
Yeah. You do love to see it. I have all my teams that are live are Philadelphia teams. They all have Hurts and Barkley and Goddard. Some of them have Bills, some of them have Chiefs. I don't ask for much, but just $10,000 one time. I'll take it. My intuition in playoff best ball is that the cons of drafting early vastly outweigh the pros of CLV. I definitely think you're wrong. Does it want Shakir or Devonta?
It's saying Devonta and then Shakir.
We'll do Devonta. The thing is that some combinations are truly only possible when you draft early in playoff best ball, just due to all kinds of permutations. Like, for example, Saquon and Jalen Hurts would have really only been available super early when the contest first opened. And just the theoretical possibility of getting that through when only 10% of the field had access to it, period, is so valuable, in my opinion.
I guess it gets to a measuring problem.
All right, This is a weird spot. I have no idea what to do here.
Robinson Jr. or Hollywood Brown or Dallas Goedert or Austin Eckler. That's what it's saying right now.
I've got I'm really light on Brian Robinson Jr., so we can do that.
There you go. It's not a fan of your team.
I heard David say that. He doesn't know what to do.
It does not like your EV right now. You got to hope for people to start taking quarterbacks early. And then maybe a EV will go up.
The fewer choices that there are, the more the greater the consequence of being wrong. So a normal slate, I don't have any Brian Robinson Jr. It's fine. I'll get some Chuba Hubbard. They project roughly the same, and that's fine. But if you have 2% of a guy on a 2-game slate and there are 6 running backs to choose from, having none of that guy can excommunicate you from winning really easily. And he doesn't have to have 20. 13 might do it. Just a very normal game for a running back. If X, Y, or Z thing happens, can kill you.
You see the same thing in short slates. I think part of it is if you're a takes player. Oh, wait, what is it saying? You can take Jaden Daniels now.
I assumed it was going to say Daniels or Pacheco.
It does say Daniels first, actually. If you're playing exploitatively and you have takes, there's just going to be fewer of them available the shorter the slate.
Yeah.
So if you're wrong about all of them or most of them, you are just dead. Whereas if you're playing full slate NFL DFS, you could have 20 different good ideas and mix and match. You know what I mean? And then you're not going to be wrong on all of them. But it's very easy to be wrong about everything on a short slate. Right?
Yes, it is. Those are wise words.
You can just get 100% incorrect.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing, is there are like guardrails in a short slate. You can just only get you can really only get so many things wrong.
But if you hammer it, you get them all wrong. Ooh, they took a quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Zach Ertz or Diami Brown.
Diami Brown. This is definitely less common. Ertz is definitely less common.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
You'll probably get Brown coming back.
Does the caddy have the combinatorial percentages up this week, Brian?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I assume that it's be very valuable information though, but it's probably too hard. Just too much computation.
Yeah, too much coding.
Yeah. All right. What crappy wide receiver doesn't want us to take?
Zacchaeus Coleman.
Sure, we'll do Coleman.
Yeah, basically tied in the sim. Oh, didn't like this one. No bueno.
No.
$2.69.
Ooh. God. Next year, I need to get. There's probably no way to do this in StreamYard. I'd probably have to get different streaming software, but we need a counter. In the bottom left corner, just a counter of the EV. How much money we have gained or lost. All right, Daniels, Robinson, Devonta, Coleman, Kelce, and Zach Ertz. The two tight end teams. I think the field is probably. I think that's probably the angle this week. More two tight end teams than the field. Man, this is. I'm gonna have to like really draft for the rest of the day because this shit is gonna fill. Oh, and we get a 101.
Nice.
God, I love getting a 101. I need to go through and see how many Barkley Kelce teams I have.
Oh yeah, me too. Actually,
by the way, no one complimented me on my thumbnail. Dan is Neo. I mean, come on, that's pretty good.
I didn't even see it.
Pretty good. Dan as Neo is pretty good.
I'll have to look at it.
I have not watched that movie in a long time.
Oh wow, yeah.
Mayo told me I need to watch Mulholland Drive, and we're gonna do a podcast on it because David Lynch I've never seen it. I don't even know what it's about.
You do need to see that.
It's true. Is he Neo or Morpheus? Maybe he's more Orpheus. Maybe he's the Oracle. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Oh, everyone thinks I'm black, just like Brian.
You kind of have a Palpatine thing going on right now, Brian.
That's true with the hoodie.
So what's the degrees in Chicago?
Cold. Just says fucking cold on my. It's actually a little warmer today. 16.
It was nicer today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another Norgard bogey. This is not doing.
Okay, good news is 2 quarterbacks dropped.
Quarterbacks.
This is good for us.
How do you three know each other? I first met Brian doing a golf podcast like 7 years ago. That's how I know Brian. And then Peter became good friends with Brian. Worthy?
Shakir and then Worthy. It's probably gonna have you take both. Are you doing
Brian, how did we start doing the politics stuff?
God, I have no idea. I think you just asked me to do the take cast, and that just went from there.
Yeah. Or is Dan the programmer?
Don't post that.
You're the architect, Dan.
I'm the architect.
We got to ban Rusty. He knows too much.
He knows too much.
He's
Yeah.
Neo, actually. Rusty is Neo.
Was the fourth Matrix good? I've gone back and forth.
I can't imagine it was. I don't think anyone saw it.
It was not terrible.
So I thought the third one was pretty terrible.
Third one was terrible. Yes.
And the second one was not great. I think the fourth one was similar to the second one in quality. Roughly.
The fourth one, at least, I think, had something interesting to say.
Right.
But I don't know if it was like good. I don't know. Brick, who is your Madden Ultimate?
That's a great question. I keep knocking you off.
Yeah. Who is it?
Right now, it's Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow?
Thinking about going back to Josh Allen, though.
Can you not? Is there not historical players to use?
It was Jeff Garcia for a little bit.
Is there not? There's not a Mike Vick.
There's Vick, but Allen throws a little better though.
Wouldn't like a 97 Vick be the absolute stones?
That's exactly what it is, actually. I think, and he's right-handed. They made him right-handed.
Is it Hunt?
Pacheco and Hunt are basically the same here.
Let's do Hunt, and then.
Okay. And then
let's do Hunt. Let's do Hunt, and then let's do Gray.
Well, actually, it wants you to take
Eckler.
I actually prefer you just take Mahomes rather than Gray at this point, or Kincaid. Interesting. It would prefer Kincaid to Gray.
Okay. No, let's do it. I can't risk my third strike already. Yeah, Brian. How is the 97 Vic not the guy?
He's fine. He's fine.
And also, why would they make him right-handed? I hate that.
They did. They have like fantasy cards where guys play different positions and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right hand. Yeah, that does not sit right with me.
I think him, RG3, and Allen are what everyone's using pretty much.
Yeah, RG3. Yeah. Allen can't have the speed though. He's got to be like an 88 speed.
No, he's fast. He's fast. He's pretty fast.
But he's probably going to take Mahomes, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we're going to get stuck with Hurts, which is whatever.
I think it's probably okay. Not terrible.
92 speed.
Well, that is just. I guess this is not Allen's base card. This is Allen's all-pro card or whatever the promotion.
Yeah, limited. They're not real. They're based in reality, but they're not real. Which I'm fine.
I just in my current dynasty, I just got a left-handed quarterback scrambler, and I had to bench him. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the left-handed quarter. It was too hard. It was like my brain didn't.
It's a bug. It's like a bug in Madden.
Never played the Madden games. Never played.
Never, Dan?
No.
What's your?
All right.
Yeah. Okay. EV of this team. EV of this team should be pretty good. This should be a $98 team. We got all high projected guys.
$83.32.
Yeah. This was a good one.
Yeah, we got a lot of projection.
Okay, let's do one more, then we can get out of here.
All right, last one.
I don't currently live in and we end it with a Barkley. You love to see.
What is the king of the red zone? What is that?
It's DraftKings puts up a prize pool, and you split it amongst everyone else who gets the longest touchdown of the week. So if you get the longest touchdown is Barkley, you make like 17 cents. If the longest touchdown is Justin Watson, you make a bunch of money.
Right.
But you have to place, I think, a minimum $5 wager for an anytime touchdown.
It's beautiful, simple game. It's just straight odds divided by ownership. Maximize.
Yeah. In the NBA, it's top points plus rebounds plus assists. Jaden, don't let us make fun of you, man.
What's the screen name?
He'll tell us after.
King
wanna
J
buy
the
it.
fourth. I'm gonna guess.
You're gonna guess.
Could be anything.
It's possible,
I have heard this. There's a theory that some of the Tua noodle arm FUD is because he's a lefty, and it looks crazy watching him play left-handed. I totally believe that there's a little bit of that going on.
I don't know. Why don't they have the shot tracker like in golf, but for QBs?
Yeah.
Where you can, and then you can see the exact speed and velocity and arc of all the quarterbacks, and then you can compare them.
Yeah, it does seem like something.
Is it because? Do you think it's because the radar technology won't work on leather?
No.
Sure, I'm sure that's not it.
No, it can't be that.
No.
That would be...
Let's check.
My guess is you need the rights from the NFL to do it.
Well, I'm saying, why doesn't the NFL do it with like their next gen stats?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
All right, no one made any mistakes yet. Now this is a very chalk draft.
Let's see what ChatGPT says.
Devonta Smith, Hollywood Brown are the current winners.
All right, let's see what it says after Devonta. Okay. We just talked about this like 30 minutes ago, and Brian said it doesn't matter.
Well, it's certainly not inherently negative EV. Everybody gets the same shot at the each draft position. And
you could run hot. I mean, theoretically, you could if you did 150 teams. Theoretically, you could run hot and get a shit ton. Who does it say now?
Hollywood Brown here. It's a little weird, which might be good. Hollywood Brown, and then Goddard, and then Hunt, and then Robinson, and then there's a lot of choices.
You should run a track, man. Go to the Chiefs game. Get goal line seats. And TrackMan Pat Mahomes.
My buddy's going. My best man is going to the game. He bought tickets.
Give him a TrackMan.
Hey, dude, you want to take a TrackMan to the game? Is your wife cool with that?
It's not that big.
I think the main will fill tomorrow morning, probably not tonight.
Yeah, this commenter is like, we shouldn't have taken Hollywood because we could get him later. I think there's a good chance that that's correct.
Oh, it is correct, but I don't want to go to jail. Oh. He is right. We could have gotten him at the 4 or 5 turn, but I do not want to go to prison.
Well, there go all the quarterbacks, which is like the best possible run. The best possible run up for you.
Not ideal to take Hurts there.
Right.
Tough scene.
Well, I don't know if it's King J or KJ. There's a KJ and a.
So it's true. Could be anyone. Person. All right. So what are we gonna go? What EV are we gonna get gifted with? I guess it doesn't matter. It's just gonna be Kareem Hunt, and then we already know who our quarterback is.
Right. We don't care about QB anymore.
So it'll be Kareem Hunt, Zach Ertz. Actually, this guy might take Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he could. He probably should.
Yeah, I mean, he's been to the White House 3 times for a Super Bowl win, so he'll probably go again. They all went.
There goes Kareem. Okay. So now Robinson Jr. is listed first.
All right. I wonder if it still wants us to take Ertz when we take Robinson Jr. Let's see.
It does. Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. We're loaded up. Mahomes is our quarterback. What is the expected value of this team?
I'll let you know when I get to
check the expected value of the guy watching Jaden's team too.
Oh shit! I just overwrote. Oh yeah, shit! I gotta back it up. Okay.
Luckily, we already know exactly who we're picking.
Okay. Okay. I'm back in the spot. I'll type in everything and see what it says.
You guys ever go to I guess Brian, you ever go to a golf simulator?
Bunch of times.
I've been wanting to go. There's one really, really close to my house.
They're awesome. It depends on which one you go to. You gotta make sure it's a TrackMan Or if it's not a TrackMan, you want something decent.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like fake info.
I'd love if it would be fake info that made me feel better than I am. That would be sick.
Well, then maybe you do want a bad one.
Yeah. I just have not been swinging. I mean, I haven't even been in the range in like months. It's just been too cold and gross.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do that.
Although obviously part of golfing is getting out in the sun.
Okay, the fourth drafter team is worth $1.71.
Shouldn't have taken your quarterback so early, brother. You got hoisted by your own tard.
I'll read them all off as they come in. This guy should just be taking. Well, I don't want to say it, but it's pretty clear.
What's the buy-in? 7?
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's team is worth $6.87, which is basically break even. The next guy doesn't matter. Whatever he picks, like his EV is capped at $1.56. And then our team is worth about $24.
Oh, nice.
Could be better, could be worse.
Yeah.
Homeboy, your EV, your Skolansky bucks.
This is going to be the team that won, guaranteed. No, that
you want Skolansky bucks because you could spend them now.
That's true.
Jaden.
Well, I don't know, man. RFK, where's he at? Where's he been? He's been kind of silent on the Skolansky bucks front. Haven't heard from him since December 27th.
No, it's law now. It's federal law.
I didn't see it yesterday in the summary of the executive orders. I'm just saying. I think we might have gotten bamboozled. There we go. There's a Crowder picker. We got a Crowder picker.
Crowder.
All right. Well,
Sweet.
there we go. I mean, I think this will be a real interesting. If you did watch this, if you're one of the people who watches this, you kind of just got like the guide. Like you should be able to watch those drafts and be like, okay, this is what Dan's computer would direct me towards. Like you got the heuristics. Like most weeks, it really wouldn't be that easy. Like week 10 or whatever, a full slate, 10 games would not be that easy. Be like, oh, the Sims, like it'd be the same as just knowing what the projection's like. But in this, it's much more straightforward. Like you kind of got the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
You gonna draft some teams, Brian?
Probably not.
He's too busy, man. This guy's got a lot going on. What are you doing? What are you doing for the games?
This week, nothing. Family's coming over. My parents are going to come over.
You going to the Super Bowl?
I'm not.
You're saving that for next year, obviously, for when the Bears go.
Yeah, Caleb and DJ Moore stacks bring me home.
Bears Broncos Super Bowl.
Why Broncos?
Dan's a Broncos.
Why not?
Dan,
God damn it!
Yeah, why not the Broncos? They have their quarterback. They have their coach.
Nix, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, they're going to get Ashton Genty in the NFL draft. It's going to be great. All right, everyone. We are going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I mean, that's crazy. I can't imagine you would have made it this far in the video without subscribing, but please subscribe. Please like the video. Why don't you consider getting a membership? You're probably on mobile and it's probably impossible for you anyways, but you should consider doing that. And we are going to have a very important and special stream on the Endgame Syndicate YouTube channel next week on Wednesday. So basically clear your schedule for that. Just whatever you've got going on Wednesday, shut it down and prepare to be there for the Endgame Syndicate YouTube and stream. On Wednesday, we'll have some big announcements. Myself, Dan, Brian, New to Cow, and Adam. And good luck this week. Hope you guys enjoy the final week of BR. And I guess this is the final sim stream until preseason NFL Battle Royale. People are saying more and more they're going to do preseason NFL Battle Royale. And I'm going to have Dan watching tape from training camp to grind projections and have the Sims up and running. But yeah, make sure you're there on Wednesday. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, Thank you all very much for watching. Jaden is sitting in jury duty. So nice to draft with you as well. I'm glad that you're doing this on government time. Later, everybody. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.